Lights, camera, action. Let's start the show. Here's a little bit of wedding advice to help your love story unfold. This is your wedding series, and we are going to be planning your wedding and telling your love story through a slew of events, from your wedding proposal all the way to the rehearsal and the rehearsal dinner, and of course, your wedding day. But we did it a little bit different over here. We're planning from 14-year-old you and how you can get prepared and start planning for marriage and wedding well before he even proposes to you. We talked about all of that in season 14, and then we've now fast forward in season 14. What? We talked about all that in season 1. We are not in season 14. No, we will not even have 14 seasons. There will be 12 though. Haha, spoiler alert. But we are in season 2. So we talked about all of that in season 1, like 14-year you, college you, and very, very, very young adult you right after college if you decided to go to college. Now, we did fast forward to the point in which you are now engaged. And that means different ages for different people. So not everybody is going to be engaged at the exact same moment in their life, and that's okay. That's okay, right? And we are about 2 weeks into our wedding planning process. So we are in season 2, episode 5, and today's topic is help me please. Wedding planning is already way too much. I'm in over my head. I feel like I'm drowning and I need some help with this, okay? I need some real assistance. I need to bring in the troops. I need to figure this out because this is way too much. This is way too much for one person to handle. So we're going to talk about why you might be feeling this way and where you can get some help from, probably in some places that you never even thought about before. So we're going to be talking about that, okay? Now, let's talk about the why. Let's talk about why you might be feeling like you need some help, like this is overwhelming, this is already too much for you. And yeah, let's just talk about the why. So, first off, you got engaged. Yay! Congratulations. I know that it's exciting. I'm also a bride. I have been married for 6 years, and to me, I will always be a beautiful, blushing bride. Okay? Even though, yes, I am a wife, technically. I am a wife. But you got engaged. And yes, even though that's exciting, that is overwhelming. Your brain starts automatically thinking, okay, woo, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to plan. We've got to set a date, all the things, right? Starts running through your head. And that's why we've been taking this one day at a time over here in this wedding planning series, one at a time. I'm not just throwing all these things at you and then you're just trying to figure it out. Okay. I feel like that's what most wedding planners do. But I am your content creator who's been in a lot of events and a lot of weddings, and I've seen a lot. And so we're doing things a lot different over here. As you guys know, as your content creator, I'm the one that's taking affordable videography at your wedding series of events. So all of those events that come between the proposal and the wedding day, I'm there with you as your personal paparazzi, capturing all those on a cell phone. But let's get back into this episode topic of what we're talking about today. You guys already know what I do. And if you don't, send me an email. We could talk more about it because I'd love to have you. I do travel all over the world. I love to be at your wedding or your event or party. So, like I said, you've gotten engaged and then you've probably had an engagement party. You probably haven't had the engagement photo shoot at the 2-week mark. I mean, maybe if you're moving really, 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 really quickly here, but you probably haven't had that unless you also use the proposal video and pictures as the engagement photo shoot, which I think is amazing because it's that's the real true moment of you getting engaged, right? Not the engagement photos. That's you plan that out and everything, right? So it's just not the same. So Yeah, you've had that. You've had the engagement party. You probably had to plan it a little bit or maybe all of it, depending on who did your engagement party for you. Also, you have gone shopping a little bit and bought some things for the wedding planning organization, the tools that we talked about, like your photo album, your wedding notebook, your budget binder, things like that. So, also your boards, like your vision board, your mock up, mood board for every step of the way of this process. You can see things in like the vision, as well as you may have started doing some research online. You may have started just looking at things, just researching, looking at dresses. You may have even looked at venues. I don't like expect that anybody's actually gone out and like picked their venue yet, but maybe you did. Maybe you already did that at the 2 week mark. Okay. And so that's okay. But right now you just need to like breathe and slow down. Okay. Breathe and slow down. So, some other things that you may have already done during this time is you may have made some digital documents as well. We did talk about like your hashtag and we talked about an email address, your wedding website, things like that. Now, you may not have your wedding website done. That's a lot of detail in that one, but like getting a PO box, email address, hashtag, things like that are not that difficult. Making a logo of your two initials, your first initials. That one's not hard either. Well, as you may have made a monogram as well. These are like more of like your digital, easier things to do, like online or just running into the post office and getting PO box. Okay. So it can still be overwhelming. Like every day, you can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doing wedding stuff every single day. I'm trying to incorporate something for the wedding every day. And that could seem like a lot, a lot. And so I get it, and you just need to understand that, like, it's okay to feel this way, but right now, I want you to breathe. Right now, I want you to breathe. I want you to reflect on all the things that you've done so far and be excited in those things, okay? You may have also been sharing on social media, or you may have been sharing like your photos through text messages and things like that of your proposal, of your engagement party, making announcements here and there. And with everybody calling you or texting you back or inboxing you on your social media or commenting, even that can feel like a lot. Like even though you're happy and you're excited, you may be feeling like, okay, like this is a bit much, this is a bit much. And so like I said, you may just feel like, help please, help me please. Okay, so let's talk about some of how you can get some help. We've talked about why you might be feeling this way because weddings are a lot. You're literally planning one of the most biggest events in your life besides being born. Okay. So you're probably planning one of the most biggest events that you're going to have in a lifetime for most people, majority of people. Okay. This is a big event. And that's what it is. It's an event. It's a celebration of you and your groom, okay? Your fiance. I've told you guys like weddings have gotten like completely out of control. The vendor industry has really capitalized on that. The world itself has capitalized on that with like so much consumerism. And it's time to just breathe and, you know, relax for a minute. Over here on my podcast, if you guys notice, I do talk about things that you can do yourself. Now, you can outsource them. You can go and get someone to pay for all of this. You can go pay someone to do all of this stuff, and that's fine too if you've got it in your budget. But don't go bankrupt planning a wedding. Okay, that's why we're doing this episode. I want you to stop right now, chill out, look at your budget binder, look at everything that you spent. And remember, we set a budget at the beginning of this. And that budget wasn't just for the venue and for the wedding reception ceremony and ceremony and reception venues. Okay. It was for the entire budget. So it's time for you to look at that because as that's dwindling down, you're going to have less and less money as we go along here. And you still got a gown, you still got accessories, you've still got bridesmaids proposal boxes to put together. Like you've got a lot more things that you still are going to be paying for, or someone's going to be paying for when it comes to that budget. So let's just chill out. Let's just chill out for a minute. Okay. Now, once again, let's get into how you can start feeling better. We talked about breathe, take a breath, reflect, and look at your budget binder to see what you've spent so far. Okay. Do you feel like it's a bit too much already that you've spent? Do you need to like cut back on some things, not overspend? Look around your house to see, do I already have some of these things that I can incorporate into whatever the next step is for this wedding? Remember when we talked about like crafting your own photo album and just getting a plain one and looking around your house? Do I have some fabric? What kind of fabrics would I, envision my photo album as if I want to use fabric? Maybe I don't want to use fabric. Maybe I want to use stickers. Maybe I want to print out some stuff with my printer and turn those into stickers, you know, stuff like that. So be thinking about these things in these ways if you're trying to um you know calm down from all the spending and all the overwhelmingness. Now, a big one that people don't think about when planning their wedding in the beginning, and that is, you could think about an aunt that's in your family, an aunt that you really appreciate, that you're pretty close to, that she's more than an aunt. She's like one of your best friends, okay? Even though you guys obviously are more than likely not the same age or anything, but she's an aunt who really enjoys wedding planning. She enjoys planning events. She enjoys planning parties. She also likes to get dressed to go anywhere, okay? Those type of people are natural planners, okay? That would be me. I am this type of aunt, and I cannot wait until my niece gets to this point in her life. But one day it'll happen. One day it'll happen. And I'm going to be there for her. I am going to be there for her. But yeah, so you may have an aunt that is in your life who you did not think about, that could help you with some of this stuff. Okay. That can help you with just like thinking things through. And even though you have your fiance there and you both are trying to figure this out together, what I see is that a lot of couples, you can see it in their faces, even though like, they recorded the most amazing video and all the day in the lives and all this stuff. And it's like, I can see it in their eyes. They are overwhelmed and they don't want to ask their parents to help them with every single step and every single day of the wedding. They've already talked to them about the budget. They're probably already getting lots of money from them. And so they don't want to be, you know, picking their brain every single day on this and that, or asking them to come over and help with this and that. So be thinking, now this is for my brides, be thinking about your favorite aunt. Think about a close friend, maybe like a bestie who lives in the same city as you. I would prefer somebody who lives in the same city as you, because if they live afar, it's just way tougher. I mean, you can do video calls and stuff, which is really good. Thank goodness we do have that. But it's not the same as someone who can actually be there with you. Okay. Go shopping with you. Like we went shopping this week and things like that. And sometimes you just want the company. Sometimes when you are planning a wedding, you can feel very alone, very, very alone in the wedding planning process. The day to day of putting everything together and looking at inspirations and this and that, getting a second pair of eyes. Woo! That will help you a lot. That will help you a lot. You guys, like, think about that. Think about that. Having a second pair of eyes to help you. I cannot wait to share this story eventually about how I wish I had a second pair of eyes on my wedding gown. I wish so badly that I would have had a second pair of eyes when it came to this, but I will be telling my my gown story, my wedding gown story at some point. But yeah, so think about trying to reach out to someone who lives in town, who you trust, who could help you with some of this. And like I said, to just be there, just be company, okay? Just be company to you. Like I said, it could be a close friend, it could be a really amazing aunt who you're very close to in your family, that it's not going to come by surprise to her, that you want her to be there with you and to help out in this way. Okay. So, like I said, breathe, take a deep breath, reflect on what you've done so far. Open up your budget binder, see where you're at. And if you need to just take a beat today and just kind of like, okay, I forgot to write this down, I forgot to get this done, looking at your DIYs, going into that craft corner and saying, okay, what else did I need to do today that I didn't do already? Or maybe you just need to lie down on the floor and do nothing for just a day. I mean, like, not the whole day, but like spend a little time relaxing. Okay. Spend a little time to relax and reflect, because it is a lot. It is a lot. Now, this is a tip that I'm going to give you, and it's obviously just for my listening audience here. And that is, reach out to me. Reach out to me. As your content creator, I am helping you to plan this wedding. And I'm helping to remind you about also, the events that are coming in and how to prepare for those events and things like that. Okay. I would love to hear how wedding planning is going for you at this point. Do you feel very overwhelmed? Do you feel like, oh my gosh, I need some help? Are you feeling just calm, cool, and collected? It's only been 2 weeks and you've been taking all of my advice here and it's been working. It's been working. You've just been going one day at a time since the engagement, or one day at a time since you were 14 years old. And you well, obviously, if you were 14, if you've been watching since you were 14, the series is only a month old right now. So you haven't fast forward to when you've been engaged. But if you are 14 years old and you were watching and you've been enjoying these, that's good too, because you're getting a lot of adult advice for when you do get to this age, okay, of engagement, of the proposal. So I would like to hear from you too. I would love to hear from you too. We're gonna have everybody here, right? Also, groom. Right now, you may be feeling overwhelmed because guess what? What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? You are planning that house. You're getting that house ready for your bride to be, to you guys to move in after the honeymoon, after you are now officially husband and wife. Okay, so you're getting that house together. You may be feeling overwhelmed, but guess what? You've had your dad, your grandpa, your uncles to lean on this whole time. We talked about 14-year-old you as well. So when you were 14, how you were planning and preparing for this wedding one day, okay, that would happen, and this proposal. And so I know that you may be feeling a little bit like, the walls are caving in, it's really here. But hopefully you did plan for this in some way or fashion. One of those ways could have been you and your father are going to have a house built, or you're already building it right now. The other way is, okay, maybe it just wasn't a possible thing. Not everybody can get a house, and that makes me so sad. But hopefully you've been saving money. You were saving money since you were 14 years old, putting something back, so that when it's time to rent, you've got at least a year, maybe even 2 of money saved up for renting. So you don't get in and it's like, okay, we're just month to month here. No, you don't want that. So make sure that you also are preparing and checking in on yourself to see how you're feeling. And do you need to lean on the gentleman that said that they were going to be here for you and help you, keeping them accountable of doing such thing. Okay. So yeah, I want to hear from you too, grooms. I want to hear your perspective on this whole wedding thing. Okay. I want to hear everything from you guys as well. I want to hear how things are going. So both fiancés, the groom and the bride, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from any wedding guests. So this is guests that are going to be attending the wedding. If you'd like to be here on the podcast, please let me know. Now, maybe you're like, you know what? I really don't want to be on the podcast. I just want to have a video call with you, but I don't want to be on the podcast. That's fine too. I will make time for you. We can do that. But even better if you want to share your story. It's even better if you want to share. If you want to share this process and how your love story is going and how it's unfolding, even better, because you may be able to help other people out there that are like in the same stage as you are right now. And maybe, like I said, maybe you're not feeling overwhelmed, but if you are feeling overwhelmed, it's okay. Either way, I want to hear from you. So in order to reach out to me, you're going to reach out at yourcontentcreator@yahoo.com. Okay. And yeah, you guys, this has been, so far, this has been great. I have been enjoying these episodes. I hope that you've been enjoying them too. This has been so much fun for me. Like, I am literally over the moon. I am over the moon with planning and doing all of this for you guys. And I hope that you appreciate it. I hope that it's been fun for you as well. And I'm going to see you in the next episode. Bye, lovebirds.
Lights, camera, action, baby, strike a pose. Phones and cameras out, just watch it all unfold. We're the stars of the show, ain't no need for filters. Living life through the lens, capturing our thrills. Put away your phones and cameras, let the good times roll. Our content creators got it all under control. From weddings to events, parties, travel and brands, we're living the paparazzi life, it's all in our hands.
Lights, camera, action, we're ready to go. We're professionals, don't you already know? From TikTok to Instagram, we're taking the lead. Content creator, we're planting the seed. Get ready for the social media explosion.